What is up, Flockers? Question: are there any other DIYers, like DIY retighteners, that just get lazy when it's time to do your retie? I mean, my reties don't even take that long. It's like a matter of 3 hours on night 1 and 3 hours on night 2 to retie my entire head. And I'm usually watching a movie or a show while I'm doing it, so it goes by really quickly. But it's almost like working out. Like once you actually have your workout clothes on and you've gotten up and you started, it's good. And when you're done, you're so happy that you did it. But actually getting out of bed and forcing yourself to get dressed and stuff like that. So I feel it's like the same way when it comes to my reties. Once I actually have my lock through the retie tool and I've started doing it, I'm good and it goes smoothly. And once I'm done, I'm happy that I'm done. But there's something about the actual starting of the process that I just keep putting off. And especially now, because I'm at a point in my lock journey where my locks do not marry at the roots as quickly as they did before. For the first year of my lock journey, my roots would start meshing after probably 3 weeks after my retie. So I would retie my hair, and then 3 weeks down the road, I would have to start separating locks and popping locks on a daily basis to keep them from marrying and to keep it from being painful. And to you know, when you have to go in and pop locks, especially when they're thin, you're not wanting to have to pop a bunch of locks and do a bunch of separating. So that was always my cue, like, hey, got to keep them separated. And then when it's time to do the retie, I got to get in there and do it at for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, because I don't want my locks to marry. I don't want to lose a lot of hair when I'm popping them and separating them. So I'm just going to keep on my retie schedule. Well, now I'm at a point where I get to week 6 and they're just starting to slightly marry. I mean, within the past week, I think I might have had to separate maybe 2 or 3 times, just two locks, that started to marry just a little bit. And it wasn't even serious. So I'm like, well, dang, I'm at 6 weeks, so maybe I could stretch it to 7 or 8 weeks. And I'm telling you, that's not the mindset or mentality that I should have, because I know I should just go ahead and get it done. Although it doesn't look bad. Like, I'm 6 weeks in, and yes, I have new growth, and yes, I'm at a place where I could retie, but it's not an immediate thing to where it's detrimental to, if I don't get it retied, then it's just going to be out of control. I don't know, y'all. I might stretch it to 7 weeks this time, partially out of laziness and partially out of just curiosity of, am I at a point where I can now stretch to 7 weeks without doing my retie? Watched a couple of people here on YouTube that I love, like Tanisha Ali, and she goes, 11 or 12 weeks in between, and she wouldn't recommend that to anybody. And she's been locked, I think, for, I don't even know, 6-7 years, something like that, something crazy. Her hair is sick long. And so I think that her hair has matured to a place where it just knows to do what it's supposed to do, and it does not marry and get crazy at week 3 or 4 or 5. So she's able to stretch it further and not have any seriousness. Of course, the longer you stretch it, the longer your retie is going to be, because instead of having to retie an inch of new growth, maybe you're having to retie 1.5 inches of new growth. So that might add an extra 2 points of a rotation that you have to do, which doesn't seem like a lot. But when you're doing 314 locks and you're having to add an extra 2 rotations to each of the 314 locks, that does add up. So, I might try to stretch it to 7 weeks, but I don't think I'll go past that, because I don't want to expand the 6 hours over 2 days into 8 hours over 2 days. Whenever I do eventually decide to retie, I will definitely let y'all know and see. But like I said, I don't feel like we're looking like we're struggling. You can't see scalp, but I like that. I like the look of when it's freshly retied, but I like the look better, and I like the way it feels better when it's not. The only time, like I said, that it bothers me when it is not freshly retied is when I go to run my fingers through my hair and it gets caught because my locks are marrying. But I'm not having that. As you can see, I can run my hands through my finger. I can't talk. I can run my fingers through my hair, and I'm not having any sort of snagging or anything like that. So I think we're going to leave it for a little bit longer, see how it goes. Scratch what I told y'all before. I made the leap and went ahead and put on my workout clothes and got up and started in the sense of my hair. I messed around and was like, let me just do a couple, and now I'm inspired. So started on the back, and actually filmed a video showing myself doing the phone projection to see the back of your head, which I'd never done before. One of the flockers in the comments asked for it, and I delivered. That's just the kind of person I am. If you ask for it and it's something that I'm able to do, I'm gonna do my darndest to make it happen. So I really do appreciate when people are in the comments. I do listen, I do go in, make a concerted effort to try to make videos that are interesting as well as applicable to people and valuable to people. Love my flockers. I appreciate the support and the video ideas. So thank y'all for that. Now I just gotta get back in this head and get it together. But I think it's looking pretty good so far.
We love a good rain out here. One, the porch was filthy with sand because Jules decided to pour sand from her sandbox all over the balcony, so that's good. But we also love it for our garden because that's less watering that we have to do. So happy for the rain. We've been getting a lot of rain lately, almost daily. But usually it's in small spurts. It'll rain for 20 minutes and then the sun will be out and it's like nothing happened. But today, this is the second time that we've had this heavy downpour. So obviously my morning plans or my morning walk was spoiled. Not going to be walking with Jules today. Might try to get a workout in down in the basement later. I don't know, we'll see. Depends on my motivation and how I feel. I got work to get done, so I don't know if I can fit it all in. Because at least when I'm on my walk, I can still answer emails and work while I'm out, answer phone calls if need be. But it's kind of hard to do like HIIT workouts or something like that and answer emails at the same time. But we'll see. I might be able to squeeze in a little 30-minute workout. This is the kind of weather though. I'm so over summer. Like, not a fan of the extreme heat. I, by nature, am a sweater anyway, so the moment I step outside my house in the summertime, I'm already pouring and drenched in sweat. I have to wash my hair probably twice as often in the summertime just because I sweat so much. So instead of washing my hair once to twice a week, I feel like I'm washing it every 3 days. Sometimes, like I said, it just depends on how often I'm exercising, but fall for me is where it's at because I'm not having to deal with the pollen. Hate pollen for allergy reasons and also for just the fact that it gets in your hair and it stays in your hair until you wash it out. So I like autumn, fall because of the leaves changing. It's really beautiful where we live and we're not far from places that you can go, like waterfalls and things like that to go, and it's just beautiful scenery around. I said not far, you know, it's like an hour and a half drive from us. So relatively close, and a lot more pros to fall in Georgia than there are cons. Looking forward to summer gone and getting up out of here and for fall to come. I'm looking forward to going to the pumpkin patch. I'm looking forward to going to, like I said, the waterfalls and hiking and just all the things that you want to do in the summer, but you're like, it's too doggone hot to go out and do these things. Looking forward to those family trips and just all the fun that we get to have. Hayride, trunk or treat at church, Halloween, all that good stuff.
You are short. Y'all, we're at the gas station on our way up to Tennessee to visit some friends. This is our first time in 5 years that we have been childless. Yay. For more than like 2 hours at a time.
Yes.
So more than just a lunch date, we're actually going across state.
Out of state.
Yes, out of state to visit friends, and we don't have kids. It's wonderful. Yay.
was successful. We had an entire day and evening without kids. That was pretty amazing. But nobody told us that adulting with kids hurts when you wake up the next morning. Because it definitely felt like we had been out partying all night long and all we did was drive to Nashville, hang out with friends for a couple of hours, and then drive back. But
granted, we get home at 1.
we did get home at 1 in the morning, but it felt like we had gone
And didn't pick up the kids.
My parents kept them overnight, which is huge. Not only did we go for an entire day, but we left them overnight. So that was awesome. And my mom keeps saying, it went well, so y'all can do this more often. And I'm like, you say it's gonna happen. So she put it out there, and we're gonna keep putting our kids out there for
every weekend.
Every weekend. Yes, come through, Gigi. We're on our way to pick them up now and then headed to church to get our praise and worship on.
Did you miss them at all? Did you miss them at all?
Did I miss them? No.
Wow.
I did not.
I did for a second.
Oh, no. We weren't gone long enough for me to miss them. If we had been gone longer, then maybe I would have started missing them. I miss them around bedtime just because we have our routines of putting them down and stuff. So that was the only moment where I was like, oh, we're not. When my dad told me that they read a bedtime story to them and put them down, it was really sweet. But I was also like, oh, we didn't have bedtime story tonight. So, but other than that, no, I did not.
I missed my snuggles.
Oh yeah, I was good.
Hugs and kisses.
It wasn't long enough. Guess where we are? We're back at the chiropractor. It has been a month. It doesn't seem like it's already been a month, but it's been a month and we are getting those backs popped again. Jules is over there getting her dance on while Tanya's having her back zapped. Get it, girl, get it. Get it, girl, get it. Ooh, that tongue, ew. So I knew that I had a high tolerance for pain, but my chiropractor just confirmed it. Most people, he said, tap out around about 17 to 20 on their tolerance for the electro machine, and I'm up at 45, so yeah. I knew it was high, but apparently I'm double to what other people feel. I guess I just don't feel anything in life. No, I feel it now, but it still doesn't hurt. It's just inconvenient. Why are you taking stuff out my bag? You just nosy, just nosy. Little baby thief just going all through folks' bags and stuff. Okay. Put my keys back, please, ma'am.
The garage is a disaster, and it's part of the not even remodeling, but just cleanup project. Need to get the garage together, and then also need to get this room together where the studio is, transforming it into a bedroom lounge area. So all that needs to happen in the next several weeks. But starting with the garage, my dad's gonna come over today and bring a truck so that we can get rid of some of the trash that's in the garage, because we have carpets and things like that that are just sitting there that we have not been able to dispose of yet. Not a fan of that process, but it's got to be done. It's got to be done.
The frustrating thing with all this clutter that we have in here is that several months ago I had just gotten the garage to a nice place to where it was like clean and the floors were swept and everything, and then it feels like every time there's an event we got boxes and stuff coming in, whether it's Amazon boxes or I got inspired and wanted to start gardening and having our own fruit trees and stuff. So now we have all these fruit tree boxes, and we did our floors. Well, I did the floors in the basement, which means that we had a bunch of boxes from the vinyl planking, the planks that I put down that we just, yeah, so we got boxes galore. Carpet that we had in the basement on the floor for the time being. And so once we replaced the floor with the vinyl, now we got these carpets out here that need to go into the trash. So So just trying to get this place in somewhat of a decent standing, because right now it just looks horrible. Something that I love about my Microlocs, Braidlocs, and just the fact that I use interlocking as my method for retying or maintenance is just the fact that I started my hair yesterday and it's not done, but that's not a problem. I was literally, look, we've got the sides and the back, just have the top left. I was literally able to go and take my daughter to school this morning. I did not have to have clips in my hair. I did not have to stop what I was doing in order to finish the maintenance, because I can just come back to it whenever I am ready to. And that's the beauty of it. Like I said, I didn't have to have clips in my hair. I didn't have to put on a scarf or a do-rag or anything like that, because my hair is only partially done. I just left my house and went. And then when I get ready to go back, that is so loud. I apologize. Bringing in the trash can. But when I'm ready to go back and start retying and finish it up, I just do. Whether I'm sitting in the parking lot during carpool or during my lunch break, like whatever it may be, I just love that I'm not inconvenienced by my maintenance. And you know, back when I had traditional locks, if I started, I had to finish and then I had to wait for it to dry and to set, because if I didn't, if I took the prongs out too early, the clips, you know, then part of my hair might come unraveled. It might not hold as long. And so, of course, with locks, even with traditional locks, it wasn't even a third of as difficult as my hair was when I had loose natural hair. I shouldn't say difficult, it wasn't as much upkeep, I should say, or waiting time when I was doing maintenance and things on wash days. But it definitely wasn't like, oh, I can do an hour of retwisting and then run to the store. No, because if I did an hour of retwisting and I had clips in my hair, I'm gonna have to throw on something over my head, and then I got this big old like scarf that has bulging pieces because of the clips that are coming out of my head. So it just was not a good look. So like I said, I love the fact that I can retie at my leisure. Got most of it done yesterday. I will get the rest of it done later on today. But right now I'm getting ready to take the dog on a walk. It is nice and warm, still cool out in the morning. Very few people out because it's still very early. So I just like to start my day that way and can worry about my hair later and when I'm ready to, and not feel forced to do it at a certain time. Right, so y'all, I'm on the home stretch. I've got these two little pigtails left. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You see my two little pigtails? My wife says that I look like the little girl from Sesame Street. Let's see if I can find a picture of reference, because I forget her name. But I was like, yeah, you know what? I do kind of look like her. Trying to finish this up so I can be done today and stick to my 2-day record of retying. It always, like I said, takes me 2 days to get through a retie. Usually do about 3 hours on one day and 3 hours the next day. And I typically do it at night while we're watching shows, but sometimes if I have a break during the day, I'll go in and do several while I'm just sitting and chilling. So minus the weed whacker that is 2 houses down that's super loud, although y'all probably can't hear it too much since I have this mic on. But it is very peaceful outside and just enjoying the quiet while I have it and working on these locks.